Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Easy Mathematics. Our today's topic is Bayes theorem. So this theorem we are going to explain with an example. At first we just go with an example. We try to understand what the theorem actually do. After that we come to the conclusion and give the statement for the Bayes theorem. So now the example is, in the year 2020, there will be three countries, X, Y and Z, for the position of world's most developed country. The chance of being so for X, Y and Z are in the proportion 4:2:3. That means three countries are there, X, Y, Z. They are competing for the world's most developed country and its chances are in the ratio 4:2:3. That means in the probability form, when we convert it, then the probability for the first country to be in the world's best position or the developed country is 4/9, because here the ratio is 4:2:3. Its total sum is 9. So it is 4/9 for the first, that means X country, 2/9 for the second country and 3/9 is for the Z country, for the world's most developed country. Now the selection is on the basis of invention of a vaccine for a deadly disease. The probabilities that the vaccine will be introduced if X, Y and Z becomes world's most developed country are with the probability 0.3, 0.5 and 0.8 respectively. The question is, what is the probability that there will be a vaccine in the world in the year 2021? So who will invent the vaccine? It doesn't matter. Initially we should find out the probability that vaccine will be invented. It may be from X, Y or Z, anything. Now the second part of this question is, if the vaccine is invented, what is the probability that Z is the world's most developed country? What does it mean? That the vaccine will be invented by the country Z. So, if we want to solve this question, so from in beginning there will be no problem and everything is normal, we know. But in the last question, when the vaccine is invented and it is the coming from the country Z, for such type of things, we should use this Bayes theorem. So anyways, at first we try to solve this question and how it will be solved. That is the main thing for this video. Now, what are the events given here, or what are the events we should created here? That is the first thing. So first we consider the event A. That event introduced that the vaccine is invented, or the invention of vaccine, that is the event A. Now E1 is the event that X is selected as world's most developed country. E2 is the event Y is selected as world's most developed country. And E3 is the event that Z is selected as world's most developed country. And according to the given situation or given inputs, it is given that the probability of E1, that means probability of selection of the country E1 as the world's most developed country is 4/9. For probability of E2 is 2/9 and probability for E3 is 3/9. Here you should note that E1, E2, E3 all are mutually exclusive and exhaustive. That means in between them there is nothing is common. So let us analyze the situation with this picture. So this one is the three countries representing X, Y and Z and their respective probabilities. So they are mutually exclusive. That means E1 intersection E2 is 5, E2 intersection E3 is 5, E3 intersection E1 is 5. And they are exhaustive also. That means their union is the sample spaces. So that is the entire situation. Here we should remember that the probability for E1, E2, E3 all lies in between 0 and 1. Now A is the event that vaccine invented. So which country do so? It is immaterial. So if the event A is this one, that will be invented by any of this country. So this one is the event A, which is taking some parts of each of this E1, E2 and E3. So that what we will say from here, just observe that here A means we can say that A is the intersection of A and S. So now S means it is the union of E1, E2, E3. So that we can write it A intersection E1 union A intersection E2 union A intersection E3. Now if we take the probability, then probability of A is the probability of this entire one. Now that we can write as the separated probability. So this one is the theorem of total probability. So that we will find out in our previous video. And one thing, you just check it that there are 3 events are there and we take their summations only, and the minus of the remaining part we have omitted. That is because this A intersection E1, A intersection E2 and A intersection E3 are mutually exclusive events. Just look in this picture. Here A intersection E1 means only this part. A intersection E1. A is this entire part and E is this one. So A intersection E1 is this part. So this one is the part. Then A intersection E2 is this part. And A intersection E3 is this part. So just have a look that these 3 are again not having any common point. So these 3 are 3 separated parts, and if we add them, then we will find out the complete A event. That's why these are the mutually exclusive and exhaustive, because they have no common point, and after taking the summation of these 3 parts, we will find out the A event completely. That's why this is also the mutually exclusive and exhaustive. Now, what we will do here? So the probability of A we should find out. So for the probability of A, we will find out it is the probability of A intersection E1. A intersection E1, we have the conditional probability. So on that respect, we know that the probability of A intersection E1, that we can write as the probability of E1 into probability of A given E1. We know from the conditional probability that the conditional probability of A given E1 is equals to probability of A intersection E1 divided by probability of E1. That's why this one can be written in this format. Again, this one can be we can write as P probability of E2 into probability of A given E1, E2 plus probability of E3 given probability of A given E3 corresponding to this one. So we can write down this one. So all these are respective the conditional probabilities. So the summation of these we will find out. Then it is the probability of A, which is our first question. And probability of A given E1 is given to us in our problem. If we emphasize on the problem, then I hope you can remember that it is given 0.3. For the Y, its probability is given 0.5, and for Z, its probability is given 0.8. So if we substitute the value of probability of E1, probability of A given E1, then its value is 4 by 9 that we know, and its value is 0.3, that means 3 by 10. Its value is 2 by 9 and its value is 0.5, that is 5 by 10. Again, its value is 3 by 9 and probability of A given 3 is then 8 by 10. So if we substitute all those values and simplify, then we will find out here it is the probability of A is 23 by 45. Just by calculation we will find out this one. So this is the probability that the vaccine will be invented. Now the second question is, if the vaccine is invented, what is the probability that Z is the world's most developed country? So that means our requirement is the probability that Z will be the world's most developed country. That means the vaccine will be coming from the country Z. Its probability given that the vaccine will be invented. So this is again just the simple conditional probability. Then according to the formula, we should write probability of E3 intersection A divided by probability of A. That is just simple the conditional probability which we already know. Now probability of E3 given A, E3 intersection A, that we can write probability of E3 into probability of A given E3. That is the multiplication rule also. Now probability of A, which we have already calculated, so that we should write down here. And this is your Bayes theorem. So I hope you understand that the Bayes theorem is not that much difficult. Just the understanding is the main thing. If you understand it in the proper manner, then you can understand what is Bayes theorem. So for calculation of this one, here the probability of E3 we know, probability of A given E3 also we know, and this one already we have calculated, that is 23 by 45. So now if we substitute all those, then we will find out this value is 12 by 23. Now it is the statement of Bayes theorem. If E1, E2, E3, in this way En are n pairwise mutually exclusive and exhaustive events with probability of EI not equals to 0, then for any arbitrary event A which is a subset of union of EI, that means mutually exhaustive, such that probability of A is greater than 0, then probability of A is equals to summation of probability of EI into probability of A given EI, and the Bayes theorem then we will find out as probability of EI given A is equals to probability of EI into probability of A given EI for the particular EI actually, and divided by probability of A. So how to calculate this conditional probability, this Bayes theorem? For that I am giving you a flow chart also. So initially we know the probability or the prior probability for the individual events. So that means these are the events, probability of EI, these are, we can say, the prior event. So P of EI is your prior event, that we know, it is given. Now the new information. New information means A. The event A is your new information. Next it is the conditional probability when A occurs. Conditional probability of A occurs means next our requirement is the probability of A given EI, that also given. Next it is the joint probability. Joint probability is what? That is the multiplication of these two. Joint probability means the multiplication of these two. That means probability of EI into probability of A given EI. That is your joint probability. Now it is the sum of all joint probabilities. So if we take the summation of all these joint probabilities, then it is the next step. This is our next step, the sum of the all joint probabilities. And then it is the posterior probability. Posterior probability means probability of EI. That means given A, that means EI is any one of the particular event of E1, E2, E3 all. Initially our given thing is probability of EI, and then finally we are going to find out the probability of EI given A. On condition A, we are going to find out the probability of this one. That's why this is the prior probability and this is the posterior probability. And in between that, the steps are one new information or the new event will be occurred. On respect to that, we find out the conditional probability of all those events. Then we multiply this conditional probability with its prior probability to get the joint probability. After getting the joint probability, we take sum of all such joint probabilities. This is the sum of joint probabilities, and finally with respect to this joint probability, we will find out the posterior probability for any of these given n sets. So that's all for the Bayes theorem. In this way, we can easily calculate any sum in the Bayes theorem. So the main thing is we should initially identify the events E1, E2, E3, whatever the events are given, and what is the new information or the new event will be there, that you should identify. After identifying all those, you can easily find out the Bayes theorem. With the pictorially also we can express this one. So here the E1, E2 in this way, if n events are given, so they should be like this one. So they are mutually exclusive first. Here this is the sample space S. Then these are the events given. These are all the events, and look, no events are common. That means no two events share the same sample point. So that these are the mutually exclusive. That's why we can write EI intersection EJ is equals to 5. Now, if we take the summation of all this, then it is the S. One event or the new information is given, and that is like this one, which will covers all the events in some manner. So this one may be your event E1. Now, here on that basis, the A event, here this is your event A. Now on that basis, we will find out that the A intersection is, we should find out. And corresponding to that, we will find out that the A and E having this portion is common. Only this part. Now A with E2, this portion is there. Then A with E3, this part. Then A with E4, only this part. With E5, this part. With E6, this part. And for E7, this part. And for E8, this part. And just observe that each of these individual parts are mutually exclusive because no common points are there. If you will find out, then here this portion and this portion having no common portion, no common point. This portion with this portion, then this portion with this portion, again this part. So all are individual, all are individual. That's why this one is the mutually exclusive again. So that we can apply, as if these are mutually exclusive, we can apply this formula, and here the probability of A can be found out. Once you can find out the probability of A, then it is just the case of a conditional probability again. So I hope you understand the Bayes theorem. In this way, you can solve any kind of problem of Bayes theorem. In our next video lecture, we are going to solve few problems on the Bayes theorem, related on Bayes theorem. So till that, have a nice day and bye-bye.